Welcome back to High, Wide, and Handsome, a racing podcast right here on the Arson Brothers Network. It is, as you can see, a two-man crew tonight. Myself, Matt Klein, and my cohort, Michael Sizemore, missing in action, Sean Allen, Jeff Griffith, both claiming to be working. You can take of that what you want, folks. Well, we are here. It was an awesome week of racing. Size, how are you, good sir?
Oh, doing good, man. Glad to be one of the two of the horsemen that actually show up tonight. But yeah, man, having a good evening. Ready to talk some racing. Had a fun weekend this weekend. Went to the Route 16 Back of the Dragon Festival in Tazewell, Virginia. Watched some good music by Cruz Contreras and got to see some cool bike stunt shows and stuff. It's like a music and motorcycle festival there in Tazewell, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Sounds like a real good time.
Yeah.
Cool stuff in Tazewell, kind of sandwiched in between you and I, Tazewell.
Yeah. About 20-minute drive for both of us.
Yeah. Same here, doing well, and weekend of music for me as well. As I saw the Weird Al Yankovic Bigger and Weirder tour, I guess. Him and Puddle's Pity Party in Charleston, West Virginia, Saturday night. Incredible show. Oh my gosh, Al. I mean, it is a full production from start to finish. It's amazing.
Yeah, man, the videos you were seeing, man, like Al's so energetic to be getting up there in age. Like, dude just goes so hard still.
Dude, and I mean, some of you may know this, and I'll say it to you, the only, energy of, the full show energy, and includes this band, I shout them out. I can't shout them out enough. He has an amazing, talented lineup of musicians behind him, but the energy that Springsteen show brought was the closest, but it was like that turned on its head, basically, of course. The energy was insane, and it transferred to the Coliseum. It was a really fun show.
Awesome.
Cool stuff. Did have a lot of racing, of course, the weekend, which got to check out most things. I missed a few things dealing along the way, but had to catch up today. But we do got to mention, unfortunately, before we move along, some sad news, and certainly to honor him, the gentleman Ned Jarrett passed away on Thursday at the age of 93. An absolute legend.
Oh, yeah.
Two-time NASCAR champion, 61 and 65, two sportsman division, which would basically be the equivalent of the O'Reilly Series now in 57 and 58. 50 Cup Series win, and only 352 starts across his 13-year career. A short career. A lot of what-ifs always with Ned Jarrett.
Oh, yeah.
Had he wanted to race more. He does go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, you and I were kind of the same age here, people of our generation, we really, unless we went back and searched it out, we didn't get to see a lot of that actual racing career of Ned, but, really, an excellent racer, and who knows if he would be in the talks with, Dale or Kale or DW, if that career had went a little bit longer.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's, again, what ifs are what ifs, but it's almost hard not to think so. He was a winning machine when he stepped out. It's very impressive, especially, and I'm like you, it's stuff we've had to look back on and find out about, but pretty cool stuff when you do.
Yeah.
Some more of those stats. Still holds the record of largest margin of victory to this date. He won the 1965 Southern 500 at Darlington by 14 laps. Over second place. That's insane. How furious would the NASCAR internet community be if that happened today?
Reddit would burn a Francis house down.
Yeah. But man, props to Ned. That's insane. And I mean, at Darlington, that's Darlington has always been Darlington. Tough one. Of his 50 wins, 43 of them in a Ford. I found this super interesting. He still to this day is the winningest all-time driver for Ford. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have expected Mark Martin maybe there.
I know. I thought that was pretty wild and interesting and pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then, of course, more into our age, what we grew up with Ned. I mean, the voice of our young generation, honestly, in that booth. I mean, grew up seeing him CBS, ESPN, on the radio side, even MRN had a long-running show there. Of course, the iconic Dale and Dale show called the 1993 Daytona 500. Called his son Dale Jarrett to victory lane over Dale Earnhardt. I saw that played so many times this week, and rightfully so. It's an amazing moment, and speaks to Jed. I mean, to Ned, he was great in that booth as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like you said, that's kind of how we knew him originally. Was just that guy who we heard every Sunday, and just so good in the booth. Such an iconic commentator to have that amazing Hall of Fame racing career, and then get in the booth and thrive like that. We talk about Fox and their commentators a lot, and it's not an easy job, but we grew up with guys who made it look easy. So
yeah, and
as we see now, it's not as easy as guys like Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons. Those guys made it look.
Dude, yeah, that's an amazing point. It's so true. I mean, and Ned, I mean, he done it from way back. He was really the first to step out and do it, and I mean, he set the bar high, and of course you mentioned Benny right after him, and those two together are just amazing. Yeah, like those voices to me now, I mean, obviously the nostalgia, but their comfort, like to throw another race through that, it's straight just like comforting to me.
Yeah.
And that it's amazing. And Ned, known as the gentleman, while of course neither of us knew him, but I mean, you have to mention he is well known throughout the community as just one of the best and kindest persons.
Yeah.
So just a lot there. Inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2011. So props to Ned Jarrett, and certainly rest in peace. But thinking of Dale Jarrett and all of their family during this time, of course. But that will lead us into what he loves, some racing and some NASCAR racing, as we'll roll into the lead lap. And that puts us on the lead lap, where we dissect all things NASCAR at Michigan International Speedway this weekend. Fastest track on the circuit. This track is wicked fast these days, but we started the weekend with the Truckers O'Reilly Series off this weekend. But a really fun truck race, 125 laps, 7 cautions, 34 caution laps, but 20 lead changes among 6 different drivers. Good racing here, I thought. But it was to be a bit of a chess match, a thrilling chess match at the end, as Corey Haim outlasted a furious, dramatic last lap charge from his teammate in Tricon Garage, Caden Honeycutt, air dubbed Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, man, Caden was running hot on him there. I think it's probably a good thing they were both Tricon trucks there, because if that had been anybody else, they might have got moved out of the way.
Yeah, Caden, pretty upset with Haim's block. And, I mean, if I'm in that second spot, I understand. But if I'm in that first spot, I'm probably going to do the same thing. Right. I did see, well, we saw Caden upset. I saw Haim in his press conference. Kind of took a little shot as well. Basically said I think it was needed to get some tougher skin, something of that nature. And basically said, I'm going to block you. If you want to wreck me, or something to that effect. So we'll see where that goes into the rest of the season. I don't know how many races Haim's got left, but I know he's got at least several more.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think Caden's a little, like, I get it. It's easy to do, but he's a little hard on himself. He's having an amazing season.
Oh, really. Yeah. Having an incredible season in trucks. I mean, just topping a podium almost every week.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, having a great year. But, I mean, I get it. You want to win. That's tough.
Yeah,
it's a tough battle to pull. But I do a bit agree with Haim that he is going to have to toughen the skin up a little bit, at least going forward in the ranks of NASCAR. And, I mean, I think that will come with time. Not really to say that. But I don't fully disagree there either. The hometown heartbreak, if you will, Carson Hocevar, looked like he may bring home a win there at his home track in this truck race. Dominated the middle portion of the race, led a race high 65 laps. His crew gambled 2 tires on the final stop, put him out front, but then got a piece of debris stuck on the grill, caused some overheating issues, and dropped him back to third to allow for that Tricon battle. But looked like Carson may pull it off at one point.
Yeah, Carson was looking real fast there earlier in the race, and you got a guy like Carson out there who is, an experienced cup winning driver now, and my opinion on those guys running in the lower levels. But Carson is still a young guy, so he's still learning. So it's good to, I guess, to have some hours in the trucks there to help you learn a little bit at each track.
Good for Carson, bad for some of the other truckers in the field. Also, Christopher Bell in the race looked like it was going to be those two, 1 and 2. I thought for most of the day. Bell actually won the first 2 stages, although I think Carson had the better truck of those two in those, but then wasn't to be for either of them. Bell running a lot of these truck races for that Friesen team this year. Pretty interesting.
Yeah. Got that old dirt track tie in there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Front Row Motorsports, Lane Riggs, another good run, and Chandler Smith as well, 4th and 5th. Lane Riggs still on top of the point standings, but Caden cut it back just 26 behind now. We've talked about it a bunch, but fun battle at the top of those standings between those two. And, I mean, just top 5s or, if not podiums, for each of them every week. So I hope we see that all the way through, which it's looking like we will. Yeah,
I think it's going to be a fun end of the second half of the season there for the trucks. I think these guys are going to fight it out right till the end.
Yeah, me too. I don't have it completely put up, but they're getting closer than say the Cup Series, at least, obviously, to their regular season cutoff. I think just 6, maybe 7 more races because they run a little less. So I mean, it's getting interesting there quick. And I mean, who knows? We've saw it in the playoffs and certainly previously in the chase format. Somebody gets hot that we don't expect there at the end. It may turn things on its head. It's going to be interesting. Fun truck season we're having, I think. We got to talk about Cleetus McFarland, of course, in this race. Kind of similar situation, I thought at first. A little bit in over his head, had a spin, but he did manage to bring home a finish.
Yeah.
In this one, ended up, where did he end up? 25th. So, I mean, that's pretty solid, especially in the trucks, I thought.
Hey, if you're a celebrity truck driver, 25th finish, you and Malcolm out there, just having a time.
There you go. Malcolm does have a time.
Hey, Frankie loves it. Frankie Muniz loves racing more than anybody. He's willing to just waste his money to go run second to last every week in the truck, and that's fine.
23rd, you got a solid. But fun little truck race though at Michigan. I thought kind of enjoyed this one. It's odd not having the O'Reilly series kind of there.
It was kind of weird. No O'Reilly this weekend, but there was plenty of racing to be watched. Oh
yeah, no doubt about that. We will roll along before the Cup race. I want to touch on the RCR Richard Childress Racing press conference that took place, and we now know, sadly, this was supposed to be a press conference to announce Kyle Busch's contract extension at Richard Childress Racing. There was a lot of questions around that, and I guess now we find out it had been a done deal for a little bit at least.
Yeah,
to stay there. There are, and I will heavily emphasize rumors of this, nothing at all concrete that at least I know of, but some rumors that they had offered him some ownership stake as well, which, I mean, I could certainly see that kind of from both parties, but that not confirmed. So, I mean, take that with a grain of salt or what have you. But instead, the press conference announced that Austin Hill would take over the ride full time, which, I mean, we've expected, but good to hear it finally settled, I think, just probably for everyone be a better situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the worst hidden secret out there. Right. I mean, everybody kind of just knew that was coming, but yeah, it is good, just have that officially on the books, and Jesse can pursue his adventures wherever he wants to go and spread his wings and fly out from under that Richard Childress umbrella, and Big Country's got him a cup ride now for a while.
Yeah, absolutely, for a bit, and it did come out a bit about the Jesse. I mean, I'm still with you there. I think it's a lot to do with, I think Jesse's probably gone, but supposedly, and while it's true, most of Kyle Busch's sponsors are a bit of the at least 18, if not 21 and over, but apparently some of them 25 and over is what at least a couple of the companies we were told, as someone reported on, you can find it online, that didn't want Jesse in the car because he's too young. But I do think certainly Jesse seems to be on his way out as well.
Yeah.
But I thought that was
I
interesting.
definitely could see that. I mean, they had Rebel Whiskey sponsorship and, Zone. I mean, it is kind of a more adult-centered advertising on that old 8, new 33 car.
Apparently the Bet MGM was one that wanted older as well. But yeah, interesting. And I didn't realize Kyle Busch had garnered such adult sponsors. Kind of.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it until this came out. But yeah, it's kind of true. I mean, nicotine, alcohol, 3-Chi, gambling.
Kyle liked to party. R.I.P. brother. Also, RC, he did sadly mention that he's been, of course, and I mean, not surprised, but been very bothered by the situation. He's been having trouble sleeping, so I mean, obviously, I hate to hear that, but not really unexpected either. But did say the 8, he had mentioned this 4, gave a little more clarity. The number 8, and certainly the Kyle Busch stylized font, he will be held by, I guess, Richard Childress Racing until either Brexton comes somewhere and wants it, or the Busch family gives the green light. But he did clarify that would be anywhere that Brexton would race at if he wants it. So thought that was interesting of note, and a touching move by RCR, honestly.
Yeah, it's very touching when a figure who has a number associated with him passes away, and the person who owns the rights to that number doesn't sit on it and not let anybody use it and sue people and threaten to sue people over it.
Well, lot to dissect there. But yes, I agree 100%. Oh, goodness. And then, I had to touch on that thought, but then we got to the race, Michigan. A wild Michigan race, man.
Yeah.
I thought, I mean, obviously a little caution heavy. I thought it was a pretty good race, though. Minus, I didn't want to see any of those major accidents, but I thought this felt like a, say, 1989 to 1998 or so Daytona race is what it felt to me like, which I thought was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, man, I love the racing. I mean, it was wild. Some of the just horriblest looking wrecks I think I've seen all year, especially that one with Bell. I mean, there are some junked up cars this weekend, but other than that, it was pretty good racing.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start with some of those crashes. We saw essentially the big one on lap 83, debate around that, and we'll get into it, the cause of it, but it took out Tyler Reddick in a major accident. The back of that car absolutely destroyed Denny Hamlin, Ty Gibbs, several others involved. Carson Hocevar mostly fully getting the blame for this. I have some debate for that. I think it was started with a Kyle Larson checkup, not really for any. I mean, and all of this more just racing to me. Hocevar was kind of playing the game of laying back and getting a bit of a start run. I saw him do it all day, which I do think played into it. But also, I mean, that is literally a strategy you'll see everyone do, at least at some point. But there was a stack up. I mean, I don't know. I think it was just a racing deal, but I mean, you got to have someone to blame, and Carson certainly has caused enough trouble to be the one to blame. I do get that, but just an interesting one, something you don't see all the time.
Yeah, I mean, and that was right up front too. So I mean, a lot of people are upset about that. You had a lot of big names get taken out in that one, and I mean, I guess I'm with you. I don't think it was a accident caused by Carson. I think it was an accident caused by the type of racing that was happening at this track, the type of getting those runs on the restarts. But people, when you lose like 3 of your biggest name drivers in a wreck, people are going to be mad. They're going to find somebody to be mad at.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, Hocevar, his track record does have to come into play there, and I do get that. I think he has cleaned it up at least a bit here lately, but I understand people quick to blame, and you'll have that with young drivers. But major incident nonetheless. Took out some heavy hitters there, especially Reddick. I don't know that Reddick might have been the one to have something for Hamlin at the late on this thing, which we'll get to, but not to be. And certainly a big blow on his points lead. The mighty have fallen. We'll His first
But,
DNF of the year.
Thankfully, he had that big padding built up to where he could get a DNF, and it's not really, most drivers, they get a DNF, and we're talking, how far do they fall out of, contention? We're just talking how far does Reddick fall down in the lead on a DNF?
Right. Yeah, and still with a 51-point lead, almost a full race up, which, I mean, compared to where he was, yeah, that hurts, but he's still all right.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get to the finish, we got to break down the absolutely terrifying wreck you mentioned there between Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell. Chase Elliott, the car actually got loose. You can watch the in-car camera, and he committed to spinning it. He was trying to spin out, and that thing just, I don't know what happened, if something broke or caught or what, but it just shot up the hill and right into Bell. And to me, that's the worst incident that I can think of recently. Blaney at Daytona, we saw him absolutely break the wall down there a few years ago. Behind that, man, it's been a while, but that was brutal. It was, scary. You saw, everyone knew. I watched today, everyone that was up there, a compilation of everyone's in-car camera, and, like, everyone was freaking out, asking if they were okay and stuff. You saw Chase Elliott kind of jump out. Chase hit big, too. I mean, he took two big incidents, but compared to that Bell hit, they seemed behind her. It was a brutal wreck for both. But Chase jumped out checking on Bell. You saw them kind of side-hugging there. Just massive, massive incident.
Yeah, Chase went into that inside wall real hard as well. But God, all I can say is people who rag on NASCAR today and say NASCAR isn't the sport it used to be, they made so many changes to NASCAR. Okay, probably, but some of the changes probably saved the man's life.
Yeah, man.
If you watch that impact into the safer barrier, if that had been a classic NASCAR wall, concrete wall, or anything, that would have been a horrible, horrible, life-changing wreck for Christopher Bell. But as far as we know, people say he's got some bandages on his wrist and arm. They've seen pictures of him, like, getting on the plane and stuff. But other than that, the man's fine. And that's a huge, moment in the sport for somebody just to be able to walk away with that and just maybe have some bruising or sprain a wrist or something.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The angle of that and the speed, similar to a very famous incident, obviously, it's kind of goes without saying. So, without the adjustments to the car we have now, if you will, and to the walls and to everything, this would have been a very different situation. So, very thankful for how far we've come in safety, and very thankful everyone was okay. And, you mentioned there, Bell, still not confirmed. Gibbs put out a report. There are some kind of injury to the ankle and wrist. Apparently, we did. I saw that picture you saw with him with like a cast sling, something on his arm. I saw the entry list for Pocono did come out. Bell is listed, but Gibbs said they will make an update later this week. But hopefully, Bell's okay and gets the race.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. And if he doesn't, if he's out, he'll be out maybe a race at the most to heal that wrist and ankle up. And that's what I mean. Take your time off, fresh yourself up, brother. Get back out there, and then keep running them races, I guess.
Yeah, while it sucks to miss a race, after an incident like that, you should be thankful. Not to sound any kind of way, but just such a scary incident.
Oh, yeah.
We got to highlight Mr. Denny Hamlin after another massive milestone weekend, 51st career pole, which, mind you, he took with the underside of the car being damaged from a practice tire blowout, which is really wild. They did have to fix that damage, so he went to the back to start the race, come back to the front, was involved in that incident, back to the back, back to the front again, in which we saw him then. The final move took the Spire Boys 3 wide. Suarez and Hocevar were up there mixing up with 38 laps to go, and then he just said, all right, see you later. And then he was gone, won by 11.11 seconds, which is oddly fitting with his number, and also 11 being the famous number of Ned Jarrett, so at least a coincidental little fitting there with his huge win. And Denny did shout out Ned in his post-race, and certainly his big Kyle Busch tribute that tied him with Kyle, 63rd career victories, 9th all time on the list. They had a special flags, which was really cool. We used the 1 from the JGR days, the 8 from the RCR days. And from our understanding, that was just a special promotional thing. Those were not for sale or anything of that nature. But, man, another just massive win for Denny.
I know, man. Same old story, same old song and dance. Send Denny to the back, and he drives right back to the front. I mean, we got to stop penalizing Denny. He can just do whatever he wants. We just don't let him go to the back anymore, because as soon as you send him to the back, apparently you're guaranteeing the man a win.
Apparently so, man. I mean, it's impressive, but it is nuts. And even more so, just before we started the show, I got to listen to just a few minutes of his podcast. I was curious his thoughts on some stuff, but he talked about in that first stage when they started in the back, he looked awful, and you heard him on the radio. They were struggling, but yeah, they got that thing fixed right up. Which, I mean, yeah, he was back in traffic, but even beside that, like, he was going backwards, not forwards. But even that didn't slow him down.
Yeah, but hey, another good run for those Spire cars. CME, running for the lead there at the end of stage 3. Didn't hold on to it too well, but he looked good there for a minute.
Yeah, he did. So it was another impressive day. He just keeps knocking them off, top 10 after top 10. And, I mean, end up 6 and battling in that top 5. Like, I think they're more so improving than going down the ranks. And the 77 as well, Hocevar looked strong all day. He was in that top 5, top 10 range all day, ended up 5th. Impressive stuff from the Spire crew.
Yeah, those guys look good.
The other Spire driver, however, ran completely over Ricky Stenhouse Jr. It caused quite the accident. Not sure what the deal was there, but man, he did.
We can't win them all.
That's right. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as they say. You'd shout out Eric Jones with that runner-up run. Legacy Motor Club getting better. Actually, John Hunter ended up 14th, but at one point was up near the front of that thing too. He was involved in some of the incidents in and back, but still ended up 14th. But that team looking stronger, and especially the 43.
You don't expect that much out of Jones unless you're in Darlington, but he looked good there.
He did. Talk about the hometown hero. He was about to spoil Hocevar's party at his home track as well. Podium with Bubba Wallace coming home 3rd. That team needed a rebound. They've had several rough weeks here lately, so good to see that. Larson 4th. Thought the Hendrick cars looked a lot better. Chase obviously near the front before that incident. Byron had on and off speed, but certainly improved. But I think Chevrolet's as a whole had a better showing this weekend than at least the last few, although this not the conventional 1.5 miles, but thought it was interesting, certainly. Saw the Penske guys sneak up there and get a couple top 10s, which that's what Blaney's been doing even on these down days, if you will, Penske. But that's the first for Joey in a while.
Yeah, I know. Joey had fallen off and had a decent run Sunday. Stayed out of trouble at least. Didn't junk the car up. And, Blaney, of course, he's been pretty steady there. But Joey, I mean, to be as good of a driver, not going to hear us say a whole lot of good things about Joey, but he is a good driver. And he has a good team behind him. And for him to be, like, on the playoff or the chase bubbles, wild at this point in the season, like, I would have expected at least 1 or 2 wins from Joey Logano by now. Yeah. But maybe he's turning it around now. Yeah,
and I mean, they've been so far off now. I'm like you. I mean, you at least expect to win or at least contentions to win, but now like they've been in the 30s running at times. They've been way off. And Ford, I mean, Ford is down as a whole. It's not a secret and worth mentioning, but Blaney and company seem to find a way to pull it off each week. So, yeah, maybe Joey can get their season turned around. I mean, for our fandom's sake, maybe I hope not, but but I mean, for their sake, hopefully they get something going. We'll look at the points a bit. We talked on the lead situation there, of course. Hamlin now 51 back, which, again, I mean, it's a pretty substantial margin, but from where it's come from, it is impressive what Denny is slowly running him down. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Tyler start off the season with that incredible 3-win streak there, and gosh, we're going to Pocono. Denny's a good driver at Pocono. We might see another Toyota driver get his streak going this week.
Yeah, Denny may be literally the best of all time at Pocono, like even statistic wise. So Blaney right there in third. He kind of in a little bubble. Got a little buffer behind him in the big gap up to second. But I mean, third place, that's a good bubble to be in, I feel like.
Yeah.
Chase Elliott, even with his major incident, still hanging on to fourth. Ty Gibbs, your boy, sitting there in fifth.
Hey, you sit in fifth, but she's not going to win a race again.
There you go. Maybe he'll win that championship with no wins.
Call him Ty Kenseth.
Larson sixth. Hocevar hanging right there in seventh. Buescher hanging third. Suarez ninth. Two Spire cars still in top 10. Bell, after his incident, drops to 10th. Bubba back up to 11th. Byron hanging 12th. SVG fell. Now, Trackhouse had a rough day all around. Back to, we spoke, the Chevrolets looked better, but they looked back to where they were a month ago. They were not good. And Ross had speed in practice. Like, he looked like he was going to be one of the best cars in practice, but then just went out, kind of crapped the bed in qualifying, and not great in the race either for them.
Yeah, did not work out well for any of the Trackhouse cars this week.
Yeah, that ship, I thought we saw some things steering in the right direction, especially out of SVG, but I don't know. But you got to think SVG's excited to see those couple road courses coming up. So
SVG is watching those San Diego commercials we saw. Every commercial break there, just salivating. Can't wait.
Speaking of that, that reminds me, I mentioned the Mini movie. Did you get to check that out by chance?
No, I haven't seen it.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's called NASCAR vs. Navy, a 30-minute short film starring Blaney, Hocevar, Chase Briscoe, Noah Gragson, Connor Zillage. I think I got everybody, but it's absolutely ridiculous, but it is a fun little watch.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, they show up, and the Navy's like, basically, you're not tough enough to be here, what have you. A challenge ensues, and they have to do a series of challenges to see if the race gets to happen. But a pretty fun little cross-promotion. I definitely encourage everyone to check it out. That's. I want to mention, too, actually, before we move along, Connor Azilage. 2 crashes within 9 laps to start the race. And, man, Zillage is having a dismal rookie season like that. I mean, it's I saw some stats going around. He is having one of the worst seasons in like 40 years or something. Wow. Statistically, it's rough.
I mean, we know Connor's a skilled driver. He dominated O'Reilly Xfinity last year. And is it the Trackhouse cars? I mean, did he get his horse hitched to a dud wagon there going to Trackhouse? I don't know. I mean, we ain't seen as much out of Ross either. So I don't know if it's the cars or just that adjustment into the Cup Series from Xfinity O'Reilly.
Well, I mean,
it is not looking good for Connor, a guy who came in with a ton of promise and still has. I mean, it's his first year.
Yeah, we're absolutely
throwing the baby out with the bathwater or anything on this one. It's just, it ain't look good this year.
No, it's not. And I think there's a mix of all those things. We see all the Trackhouse cars, for the most part, struggling, and Connor being new to these cars makes sense. He's going to struggle the worst. But, yeah, I mean, certainly even worse than expected, I will admit. But I'm sure he as well is looking forward to those road courses. And we saw it's not those the finishes are terrible, like really bad point situation. But we have saw those flashes still of good. I mean, he's been up front a few times and looked good. And, of course, on the road courses, look good, not to be. So, I mean, I'm like you. I'm far from throwing him out. But, man, you have to note just how rough a start for this rookie it is.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how well he does at the street course. I feel like that guy on a street course could be an interesting thing to see, but only time will tell. I mean, he could go out there and crap the bed and finish dead last. Who knows? But I'm looking for that.
Yeah, me too. And I mean, obviously, just the progression overall through the years, and see where he ends up ultimately if Trackhouse is not his home. So, I mean, the dude's like 19 years old. So it's far, far from melting anyone, but it is all worth mentioning.
So we know he's not going to the 33 because he can't sponsor any of the or drive for any of those sponsors.
That's right. We figured that out. We'll touch on that hot rumor. You probably saw this rumor for taking that car next year that thanks to Johnny Morris, everyone has some interest in Noah Gragson moving over to RCR. Yeah. I think that'd be a fine home for Noah, actually.
I do. I think RCR is a really good fit for Noah. I think that'd be a good organization for him to go to.
I do, too. And we saw Bass Pro Shop sponsored him all through his, for the most part, Xfinity days. And since, I mean, they obviously have a relationship. We'll see what happens there. But, yeah, I'm like you. I think that could be a fun situation to at least see how it goes. And certainly everyone would probably gel okay.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm sure Austin Hill's hoping that nobody gets put in that ride. He just keeps it, but we'll see.
Yeah. Step up that performance and maybe not denied, but yeah, we will see indeed. And I mean, who knows? Maybe they were looking to start a third team next year. I guess we don't know for sure. But anything else from Michigan?
I think we covered the Motor City.
Motor City Madness. We'll touch quickly on our fantasy league. Michigan.
Well, there's not much to touch on my side. I thought I had it figured out this week, but I did not.
At one point, I looked and you were doing well, and then I looked again and you were doing really bad.
I was doing good, before everybody started wrecking out of the race.
Yeah, that hurt me too. And I think everyone to a degree, kind of low points. Even Air Crew Chief Kendall got the win, 192 points, which, I mean, that's kind of low even at the top. Sean ended up second. I did end up third, but that put Crew Chief Kendall back on top. I lost my points lead. Sean second. Jeff fourth, size still in the back there.
Yeah, still bringing up the rear.
Thought
this week was going to be.
You gained 1 point on Jeff.
All right. Well, moving up little by little. It's all Ty Gibbs' fault.
That's right. Ever since the Ty Gibbs win.
One time I put Ty Gibbs in my lineup. Him and Chase Elliott. Blame him and Waldo on this one.
There you go. All right, that will do it for the lead. That will move us beyond the banking. And we'll head first across the Atlantic as we head for the streets of Monte Carlo, the F1 Monaco Grand Prix. I'm going to throw my saltiness out still. I'm still upset this wasn't Sunday morning Memorial Day weekend. That's where this race belongs. But what can I do? It ended up being a pretty wild one, though, by F1 standards, at least, and certainly by Monaco standards. Monaco, historically, a very hard and not much passing track. I mean, from the beginning, but, man, nobody told this field that, apparently. Except the leader. The leader definitely got up front. Kimi Antonelli with another one. This kid... We talked about 19-year-old Connor Zillage on the Across the World. 19-year-old Kimi Antonelli is apparently better than anyone. It's insane. Another win,
dominating on a huge stage there for such a young guy.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that's Monaco is their Brickyard, Daytona, whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's impressive, and no one had nothing for him. Even we'll get to it. Some craziness led to like an 18-lap shootout at the end, and Hamilton had absolutely nothing for Antonelli. Race started with big drama for Max Verstappen. His car just didn't go when he started. It finally got going, but he sat there, watched all 21 cars go by. Yeah, he got it going straight behind the wall. That's where he got it going. DNF, first DNF for Verstappen of the year. There were penalties galore in this one, which, I mean, you see a few here and there, but several pit road speeding violations. Who was at one point? The Cadillacs, I think, ended up pitting in the wrong box, which you rarely ever see, or attempted to pit in the wrong box, I should say. At one point, Hadjar was saying his car was about to explode. He was absolutely freaking out, but ended up being transmission issues, lost a gear and got it going. Lando Norris with a huge power failure as well.
It was wild weekend out in Monaco, which, maybe having such a young guy dominate and having your established biggest name in Max go out on the first, lap at your biggest race of the year, maybe that stirs up excitement. I don't know. Maybe, builds for the future with your Apple deal and everything that F1 has going on now. And they can hype up the future and look at the past for some of the drivers.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what this F1. So we're seeing a bit of a resurgence in Lewis Hamilton, and had Kimi not be there, Lewis would have won the last two races. But the future is in his way, and Max being the other keys we talked about a few weeks ago, kind of a future, current, and past there. Not to call Lewis Hamilton past, but I don't know, just an interesting season in F1 certainly. But I do got to mention we saw Lance Stroll first ended up pretty violently going into the wall, slipping a turn, and then when we went back green, we saw the same exact incident from Charles Leclerc, in which took FIA officials said we better have a look there, and they realized the track was coming apart. Also, things you don't rarely see in F1. We saw it a few times, Las Vegas famously last year, but we'll not get into that. But anyway, 20-minute red flag for that situation did set up that late restart I mentioned there, which it was exciting, except not at the front as Kimi just left, but left with some excitement as we saw the famous hairpin turn, which is, famous that you can't go too wide in. We saw them go 3 wide in, and it did not work out as to be expected. But that's just, you never see that. We saw Callum Pinto suffer damage there, and Sands for that matter, but a wild one, Kimi. Obviously, the win, Lewis Hamilton second, and then Hadjar survived that, thinking his car was exploding to bring it on third for a podium. But yeah, a wild F1 race.
Yeah.
They'll move back across to America for some open wheel action. Your favorite open wheels on IndyCar on an oval.
Oh, yeah.
At Worldwide Technology Speedway in St. Louis.
Get them open wheels turning left, baby.
That's right. Hey, I do love it, too. So good. And this one wasn't a letdown.
No, it was a hot racing.
Has actually passed a total of 268 passes for position in this race. Did have a couple red flags, some rain delays, 50 minutes total, but it didn't slow the action down a bit.
And that rain led to some interesting strategies that didn't all work out too well.
Yeah, arguably took Palou out of the race.
Yeah, I'm not a frequent IndyCar watcher, admittedly. This season I've watched more IndyCar than I ever have in my life. Do they run out? Yeah. Do they run out of gas and then just the car quits working? Is that something that frequently happens, or is that?
The out of gas period is rare to see. You see it occasionally, but it shouldn't have totally caused the car to quit working. A lot of, I don't know, I haven't saw anything, but certainly worth to think the hybrid situation could be something to do with that. We saw a lot of failures in that hybrid thing. I don't know. That was wild. Ran out of gas, couldn't get it back going.
Yeah. But that pit strategy, took Palou out. He was laps down after that pit, so that knocked him out of the running there.
Yeah, and had a very fast car. He led at first of that thing. I don't know that Newgarden must be denied. Rasmussen was trying there. Rasmussen is he's wild on these ovals. He's fun to watch. He was fun back in Phoenix as well.
Yeah, him and Newgarden racing there for the lead was hot. That was good action, back and forth there. Both of them pulling some awesome moves to get to that front position.
Yeah. Newgarden's so good. And worth mentioning, he is racing with that injured foot, broken foot. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but worth mentioning. That's his 6th victory in 11 starts at Gateway, the king of Gateway. And 15 of his 34 wins have now come on short track ovals. So Newgarden, a beast on the ovals. Let's get him in a O'Reilly car. See what that
I mean, captain, give him some money for a little NASCAR racing.
It'd be amazing to see that Chevrolet Ford barrier between the Cup and IndyCar Penske creates such trouble for that. Which it is odd. Chevy's in one and Ford the other, but the AJ Foyt Racing rookie KO Collette was having a good night and ended up just a massive trail of smoke come out of that one. I guess that thing let go as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, I guess, right as we're getting another rain delay, I didn't know, the announcers, they kind of like, is it a rain delay or is it a performance delay with him blowing his engine there? But I guess it was an actual rain delay, and he blew the engine as the rain delay was starting.
Yeah, that was interesting as well. Like, two essentially cautions happening at the same time for vastly different things. I mentioned as well, McLaughlin's little drive there at the end. He was driving that awesome Helio Castroneves throwback. Went from 9th to 5th in like 4 laps. Pretty cool to see. Marcus Ericsson came on there late as well. He was having some speed. Looked like he may have something for Newgarden, but not to be. But yeah, fun IndyCar on the oval.
Oh yeah. Definitely a good race to watch. Love it. Love the ovals. Wish they'd race them every week.
Yeah, I mean, I like IndyCar road course, but I don't not wish they race oval every week. It's so fun. You imagine an open wheel, like full oval series?
I know. It'd be wild. Like it. So fast. So fast,
and I think that is the problem. A little too fast.
Yeah, that's true.
Most of those, but as a fan, it's certainly good to see. Next for them is a couple races at Road America later in June, Mid-Ohio. Then back to the oval on July 19th at Nashville Superspeedway. That'll be pretty cool to see. And then one more oval for the year, August 30th at the Milwaukee Mile. So you got a couple more ovals coming your way before the season's over.
It should be 2 good ones. I mean, Nashville should be real fun.
Yeah, that race last year was fantastic, so I'm pretty hyped about that one. I'll be maybe in that area then, but I don't know if it's going to work out to go or not. As cool as that would be, it just may not work out.
Yeah.
But that will do it for this week's Beyond the Banking. And that puts us on the Bull Ring Report, where we take a look at short track and dirt tracking in the ARCA series, which is where we'll start. ARCA Menard series at Michigan this week, where we saw Cleetus McFarland take the pole. First kind of major accomplishment or first major award, if you will, there. It's not a leg lamp, but a pole at Michigan's pretty good.
Yeah, man. Cleetus, you got the pole in an ARCA race. That's awesome. That's more than 90% of people who have driven a race car can say.
Yeah, absolutely. Cleetus, they definitely had a fast car, as proven by that pole, but started out was fast, but then started slipping. The track, you could tell he was quite loose, struggling to keep it under him. Time at one point, get real loose to keep it under him, then at one point get it loose and roll up into the wall. He kind of got it back, was getting it back going, ended up 14th, though, as the rains came. This race was rain shortened. Up at the front, though, there was some aggressive racing. So Gio Ruggiero ended up with the win, but had to batter down Gavin Boschel, what turned out to be the final restart. Jake Bowman up in there. Shout out Laney Buse with a great run. We've talked about some of the young ladies in the ARC series, and Robusto 7th as well. Very short little ARCA race, but a fun one for what we got to see. And
the weather shortened ARCA race, but glad they got out there on the track and got half the race in at least.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's Gio's third win in his fourth start in ARCA this season, nice. So that's pretty impressive. We'll move from there over to the dirt tracks. As a huge week, we'll start with High Limit Racing Series. They had a lot of racing, and Kyle Larson won most of them. Yeah. Larson on a heater in the sprint cars this week.
I mean, we talked about it last week when we watched him pass literally the entire field except for the leader. I mean, when Larson gets going, he gets going.
Yeah, he does, and he was just in that zone all this week. Started out at Davenport Speedway. He traded some massive sliders with Reitzel early, took the lead on lap 7, and he was just gone. Won by over 3 seconds and lapped all the way up into the top 10. At one point, he was on the same straightaway as third place. Did saw him take the big bow there and donate his winnings to the Kyle and Samantha Busch Bundle of Joy Fund. So, classy little tribute.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw a article about that he was donating his winnings to their charity, which is really cool to hear. Really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was very nice. They moved from there to Red Cedar Speedway. This one live on FS1. Larson put on the most dominant performance in high limit history here. I mean, I guess that's arguable, but I mean, he beat Brent Marks off the line and just never looked back. Had built up a 10-second lead over second place at one point before a late caution, and still ended up with a 4-second win over second place. Brent Marks, Justin Peck third there. And just Larson dominance.
Yeah, he's young money. Just can't stop him, man. He's so good in those sprint cars when he is. Yeah. I mean, he's had some races where he'll have some issues, but when everything's clicking, it's clicking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Larson in a sprint car. We've talked about it here, but it is truly a work of art. I don't know how else to say it. It's wild. Wasn't over though. Had to Gundick Law Speedway for the three-peat. Did have to fend off a massive final restart slide job attempt from Justin Peck here, but still went on to win by a second and a half. And Brent Marks third there, the second and third swap positions. However, race 4 was supposed to end up being a rainout at I-94 Speedway and did not allow Larson to get to run as he had to get up to Michigan. So he was trying for the first ever four-peat in high limit history, but wasn't to be. But I thought this was pretty cool. When high limit officials realized that it was not going to be able to run at that track, they started looking for another track to go to and headed west to North Dakota. They made their debut at the Dakota Speedway in Mandan, North Dakota. Track's first national sprint car race in 17 years. So I thought that was pretty cool. They were just like, let's find somewhere to go.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's crazy that a national racing company was able to do something. I mean, you just think of the logistics of that. It's insane for them to just pack all that up and go run another track. But that's real cool that they did it.
Yeah, I mean, and it was the next day. I mean, worth mentioning, they did, I guess, travel overnight there. But yeah, it's insane. And the travel of this series, I mean, they ran 4 races in 6 days or something there. I don't know. I guess 7, maybe the way it worked out. But still, yeah, props to that whole series. That last race, though, Reitzel started on the pole, drove most of the race. Brent Marks took the lead at one point, but was not to be denied. Reitzel came roaring back for his 7th win of the 26th season. When Larson's in the field, he's tough to beat, but man, when he's not, it's kind of Reitzel's playground this year. No Tanner Thorson hanging there close, Rico hanging close, but Reitzel having a year.
Yeah, unless Thorson wipes him out. Like we saw a week or so ago.
Yeah, we did see that. Tension rising between them. And worth mentioning, Thorson was third in that race. I mean, he's not far off. Fun stuff in high limit this year, though.
Yeah.
Or always, really, but certainly real fun with that Reitzel and Thorson battle at the top this year. Fun week of racing there. We're not finished with the dirt, though, as it was the Dirt Late Model Dream Week at the famed Eldora Speedway up in Ohio. Full week of racing started off the Wednesday night warm-up. This was the Flow Racing Night in America, where we saw Nick Hoffman led the final 34 laps, won a $20,000 prize, held off Devin Ram for that opening night win. Moved into Thursday, prelims for the Dream, where we saw Bobby Pierce show up, hoping to turn this in and win his first late model Dream. He's won everything at Eldora but this race, but he got him a prelim there Thursday, led the final 20 laps, collected a $30,000 payday. Friday prelim, though, the Superman was not to be denied. Jonathan Davenport he was looking to make his keep his dream streak going. He has been just unable to beat in this Dream the last few years. This would have been his fourth straight if he goes on to Saturday night, but he did get the Friday night win led the final laps. Good race there, $30,000. Moved us to the big show Saturday night, the 32nd annual Dirt Late Model Dream, 100 laps at Eldora. This is the one everyone wants to have in their pocket. But it was not to be for Davenport's four-peat as Bobby Pierce finally broke through, captured his first Dream victory. He was two-time World 100 winner and two-time Dirt Track World Championship winner at Eldora, but the Dream had eluded him this whole time, but no more. Bobby Pierce. Huge
win there for Pierce.
Yeah, absolutely. Max Blair with an impressive second. Nick Hoffman capped off his stellar week in third. Dale McDowell fourth. Devin Moran rounded out the top five. Davenport just behind them in sixth. But fun stuff at Eldora. I'd love to go. I'd love to go to Eldora, period. Not being, but I'd love to go up for Dream Week and be able to actually stay the whole week. How cool would that be?
Yeah, I mean, not many times you're going to hear us saying we want to go to Ohio this bad. For Eldora, especially for the Dream Week in Eldora, definitely would love to go up there.
Yeah, bucket list stuff. I mean, that's a bucket list track for me that I've not been to, but that event would be really cool. Maybe we can look at that sometime. But fun stuff all around, short tracks and the dirt tracks. We also saw there's some other racing. Of course, USAC had a show. Got to mention the Race for a Million series, those 410 sprint cars on pavement. They were back at it again. Christopher Bell was in the booth with Flo for that race. So that was interesting. But they had quite the night. Those things are wild. There's some more of those coming up. Shout out to our home track here, Princeton Speedway. They were back racing with their only Saturday night show of the year. It looked like they had a great one as well. But that'll wrap up this week's Boring Report. That puts us on the cool down lap. We started at the beginning and now we're at the end, sir.
Cool it down.
That's right. Fun week of racing at Michigan, fastest track on the schedule. And boy, it lived up to that reputation and some major accidents. But
yeah, I mean, as a lifelong Ernie Irvin fan, I've got some bad memories of Michigan.
Yeah.
This weekend wasn't one of them. It's some good racing.
Yeah, no doubt. Looking forward to Pocono. I am glad we only go there once a year now, though. I will admit.
I love me a little triangle racing.
I do, but I don't need it twice. They talk about IndyCar and Oval. That used to be an IndyCar staple track, and that would be something to see today.
Yeah.
If I'm in that field, I get it. I don't want that, but. Before we move to Pocono, though, we'll look back one last time as we'll look at our paint scheme of the week. It could be any scheme, livery, wrap, what have you. Any car that was on track racing over the past weekend.
Well, man, since we're rocking a two-man crew tonight, why don't you just go ahead and drop yours? You rarely get the first pick.
All right, brother, I can do that. Here we go. Scheme of the week. I'm going to start this thing. I'm going to give it to the IndyCar side of things. Team Penske. That's Scott McLaughlin. Throwback to Helio Castro Neves. That was, still I am a huge Helio fan, but that was some peak Helio loving days. And that scheme, it meant a lot to me, and it looked so good seeing that thing back on the track. And Scotty Mac put on a good show with it as well.
Yeah.
How about you,
awesome choice.
sir?
Well, oddly enough, I'm also staying in the IndyCar series.
Hey.
I'm going to go with the number 21 Ed Carpenter Chevrolet, driven by Christian Rasmussen, and the Splenda car. I like it, like a little sweet treat that don't spike the blood sugar. So give me that Splenda car up there racing for the lead. I'm a Splenda man like Christian.
There you go. I like that. Yeah, that is a sweet looking ride. The Splenda. The collars work so good with those Splenda on a car. Who knew? Jeff did send in his. We'll mention he gave it to RFK Racing and Brad Keselowski with that green. Apparently, that was an Irish Hills, which is Brad's home area up there. Tribute. I think Solomon Plumbing being the sponsor. Sean didn't, but I would almost bet the bank that he would give it to Trackhouse Racing and Connor Zillage while he had a rough day. That new updated WeatherTech scheme was pretty cool, and I feel like Sean would give it to that. So we're going to give him that.
That orange Exalta 24 for Sean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that orange Exalta. That's sharp.
It was a good-looking car, yeah.
I got a few shout-outs. You may have some alternatives as well you want to mention, but at Dream Week, we saw Turbo with an awesome Kyle Busch, the 51 Rowdy tribute scheme on. That looked really cool on a late model. And then Brandon Overton and Budweiser updated their scheme. They're doing all their anniversary schemes. This one was like a patriotic tribute, and it looked really nice as well.
Yeah, I liked, and I know a lot of the NASCAR teams are going with the patriotic themes this summer for the, America 250th. But I really liked the Eric Jones's Dollar Tree with the dark blue, with the red, white, and blue. Thought that was a good scheme this week.
Yeah, I like that as well. I like the way they kind of cut the back, like the lines almost made it look like a flag, like I thought.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. I thought it was a cool little car from Front Row Motorsports to know Graxton's for, I guess, Ribbit. I don't know what this company is, but the green and black, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I like, just because I like me a good BLT, so I got to mention RFK's Chris Buescher, Oscar Mayer car had that big BLT sandwich on the side.
That sandwich on that back, God, we had dinner at my mom's while the race was on. Watched a lot of it after, and I was stuffed full of burgers and hot dogs, and that still had me wanting a BLT.
Yeah, it did me too. Thought that was pretty cool, and it worked. Like they really did a good job, like using proper space to make it not just look atrocious. I thought it was kind of a fun one. I feel like that may have been probably was on Jeff's list as well. Good stuff. We live in a good time for paint schemes.
Yeah, we do.
Nothing else. Now we'll look a little to the future as we, sir, have to make our predictions for the Tricky Triangle Cup Series at Pocono. Who is your winner, Size?
Well, I'm going to give you the obvious one, and I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney. I feel like it's time for Ford to come back and win a race. Like I said, we talked about earlier, Tim Penske looked pretty decent last week, and Ryan Blaney's a former winner here at Pocono, so I think the 12's back in victory lane this weekend.
Hey, I like that pick of Blaney. I'm going to not go the obvious, although I probably should clearly go the obvious. I'm going to go Eric Jones. This team's been on a heater. Pocono, I was looking at the stats today, is not a bad track for Jones. Let's see if the 43 can get back in victory lane.
Hey, I hope to see it. I'd love to see the 43 back there.
Yeah, it would be cool. But, yeah, obviously Denny is clearly hard not to say.
Yeah. I mean, the man is on a hot streak, and he's going to a track that he has dominated at over the years. Dude. Maybe the winningest driver of all time at Pocono. I'm not 100% fact check. Winning is active, I'm sure.
Yeah, it has to be. And, I mean, I know he's literally at least up there as the best of all time at that track. I can pull up the stats real quick, but we'll just leave it at that. But like he is very good there. Very good there. I think Reddick will be something to say as well. I mean, 45 obviously have speed every week. He's not bad there. Chase Elliott's actually sneaky good at Pocono too. He's really right behind Denny on some stuff I was looking at earlier. So I think they could be a factor too.
And another former winner who these last couple of weeks has had glimpses where he looked fast in those Toyotas, Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, I keep trying to give him one. I thought about taking him again. I feel like it's coming. I feel like we're seeing Larson end up running top 5 too much. That wins. That's going to break at some point as well. So Larson
that definitely see Kyle getting one here soon.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Strategy at Pocono, that's the real kicker. It can turn that race on its head, even with if you got a fast car. So it'll be interesting. But looking forward to that and lots of other racing this week, as always. Anything else before we wrap, good sir?
No, I think we covered all the fun and excitement of the racing world for another week, and we'll be back in another week, and we'll have hopefully 4 more or 2 more compatriots here with us, yapping around. Glad y'all joined in for a little 2-man show tonight.
That's right. That's right. It's been fun, Mr. Co-host, but been a fun one.
Yeah.
All right. If you haven't already, please subscribe right here to the Arson Brothers Network. You can get your High, Wide, and Handsome fix weekly, as well as other videos, Arson Brothers Eats episodes, exploring Appalachia, vlogs, and you never know what might pop up on there. Do got a... I mentioned last week, but I said I may be behind, and I was, surprisingly, but... Dollywood Food and Flower Festival, that video definitely will be coming out this week, and then Silas and I trip to the Flyway Home Fest will be up after that.
Yeah, so check all that fun stuff out.
Absolutely. Check us out on the socials, High, Wide, and Handsome, and of course Arson Brothers Entertainment.
Yeah, get on them TikToks and Instagrams and like and comment and do all that fun stuff for us.
That's right. And I mean, and we genuinely appreciate it. We're trying to grow this thing, and every single like, every single comment, it really helps, and it really does mean a lot to us. We enjoy it, and we appreciate it.
We love yapping with y'all. We love yapping with each other, but there's only 4 of us. Sometimes we got to find some new people to yap with.
That's right. Sometimes somebody's got to put us in our place. All right. For us, we will say good night and good luck.